All right.
All right. In the interest of time, we're going to go ahead and start with William. And Jeff may show up a little bit later, but I don't want to keep you waiting. So we are going to go ahead. We are now joined by William Byron, driver of the number 24 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. I will go ahead and just call for questions so that we can make sure we're using our time wisely. And to kick us off, we're going to go to Jordan Bianchi.
Jordan Bianchi, the Athletic. These contract negotiations can either go one of two ways. It seems like was it pretty straightforward and almost, I don't want to say a foregone conclusion, but it seems like from the outside that this would have been a pretty straightforward, like, we're just going to get this done. You're happy, they're happy, let's just put pen to paper.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like amicable. I feel like the whole time, you just kind of working through it. I definitely wanted to be here, and really for me, just want to focus on winning races. Like that's what it's all about at Hendrick Motorsports, and that's what I enjoy and want to be here to do. So for me personally, I tried to just kind of keep my head down this year and focus, and just really happy that it's done, so that I can it's a bit of a relief, I guess you could say, just to be able to focus on what we're doing here, and a lot of goals to accomplish. So we've had a couple really good years, but at the same time, I think that we all expect to continue to progress as a team and just kind of keep it going. So I definitely felt like I was always going to be here. This is my home at Hendrick, so it makes the most sense for sure.
All right, we'll continue with questions. We're going to go to Lee.
Lee Spencer, Series 6 and NASCAR Radio and CatchFence.com. William, how have you seen yourself grown over the period of time that you've been at Hendrick? Even though you had a really good foundation in trucks and Xfinity, how have you seen yourself grow on the Cup side?
I think I've really grown up a lot. I was 20 years old when I got into the Cup Series, and I did not realize how many different facets of the series there are off the track, on the track, performing with your team, the meetings throughout the week to kind of move the ball forward as a group to build faster cars. And I think that I was really young and raw when I got into the Cup Series. Had the talent obviously to do it, but had to have all the right pieces and really learn the cadence of everything. So I would say when Chad took over the team, there was a lot of progression with the personnel that we had on the team. That's really kind of that foundation has stayed there with a lot of the road crew, and then when Rudy came on board, the engineering side of things and the sort of the finishing touches of really putting this team together to be a consistent race-winning team. And I think honestly, when we got rolling in 23, it just felt different. It felt like we had more speed. Felt like our cars were a lot closer. And then it just I think has continued these last couple of years. So I think there's still a lot of room to grow. Like there's still room for me to improve my process and just continue to kind of get that system of how I want to do things on the weekend and during the week, just to make sure that I'm as fresh as I can be and as prepared as I can be. So in the past we've had some periods of time throughout the season where we've struggled, and I'd like for this year to not have that period at all. Just continue to progress forward, and I think that's what I've noticed this year. We've had a couple bad finishes or something like that, but I feel like we tend to show up the next week and have really fast cars and have speed. So just got to continue doing that and try to be kind of the standard of the series.
All right, go ahead.
William Trenton, WorshipFriendStretch.com. When you stepped into the 24 for the first time, obviously there's big shoes to fill. With this extension through 2029, the expectation is to win races, a championship, maybe more. At what point does the 24 become your legacy? You kind of step away from filling those shoes, or when have you accepted that?
Well, I don't think it ever changes in that sense, because if you look at other sports like the Yankees or the Patriots or whoever, like they're always going to be known for their history, and that's what you want. You just want to continue to add to that. So for me, all I can do is try to continue to add to that and bring some new I guess flavor and excitement to the 24. So we have a lot of the same sponsors, like Exalta, and so the cars look new and different, but similar, and kind of carry that history, which I love. So I love being part of a historic card number, and being able to check my new kind of boxes off the list, like hopefully winning the 600 would be awesome to kind of I think somebody was saying that Jeff was the last one to win the 500 and the 600, so in the same year. So that would be awesome to kind of add to that legacy for sure.
All right. Mark in the middle. Mark, you can just raise your hand. Here you go.
Mark Carroll, PRN. How was this contract negotiation different from, say, the first? Because obviously now you're an unknown quantity then, now you're an established star in the sport. Was the contract negotiations any different, or how would you describe them from the first contract to this one?
So I guess this is my third, because I had sort of my rookie deal that was included in Xfinity, and then my second one was back in 22. So I think this one we've definitely won a lot more races since then, and sort of become a consistent threat at the front of the field. So I think just kind of working through that, and all the conversations I think this time around were really positive. So the last time around I was just starting to kind of find my footing in the Cup Series. We had won a couple races that year to start. So it's just I love, like I said, I love being at Hendrick Motorsports. We have all the resources, and with that comes a bit of pressure to perform. But I welcome that, because I just feel like it's a home, and it's a place that is just spotless and has a lot of great people. And so for me, it's just kind of business as usual, and try to go into the shop every day that I'm there, and continue to kind of move the ball forward as a team.
All right, go ahead.
I can hear you.
First time nobody could. Talk about the ebbs and flows of the season, but I imagine that you and the team must feel really good about where they're at right now, going into the March for the playoffs and into the future.
Chad sent us some stats this week just of how well we've been running as a group, and I think that's true. But at the same time, I think there's a couple cars out there that are still the fastest every week, and usually one of us is in that mix. Whether a lot of times it's been Kyle, sometimes it's been me, sometimes it's been Chase or Alex. So I think for me personally, I still want to chase those couple cars that are, I would say the standard at some of the different tracks. Like when we go to short tracks, it seems like the 20 car and the 22 or the 12 or the 11 are really strong. So when we come to Mile and a Half, I think Kyle's been the standard, and we've been kind of just a notch close to that. So I think it's good. We're all running really consistent, which is great. That's very difficult to do. We share notes really well, so I feel like all of our setups are probably really close. And in some ways our driving styles are pretty close too. So this next gen era is just becoming all about execution. So pit road is becoming critical strategy. The difference in first and 10th is really small right now. So trying to figure out that next little notch to be a top 3 car, which I feel like we've been on the 24, but we just got to keep pushing forward.
All right, we'll come up front to Dustin Long, please.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. You opened up on the docu-series about going to the sports psychologist, and I'm just curious in the sense of a long race like this, the tools that you've learned, does that help inside the car, or is that more for outside the car and all the other things? And how, if it's helped, how do you feel like it has helped you in particular this race or other races?
Yeah, I think that my process within the car has stayed really similar the last 2.5 years. There's little tidbits, obviously, that I learned about myself or how to communicate with my team or whatever it is. But I would say, yeah, it's more probably off the track or out of the car, just sort of the preparation and the process there. So I feel like that's been really good this week. It's been a great week, really, just pretty calm, and just been able to kind of make sure that I'm prepared for this weekend. And there's still going to be more prep that I have to do once I get in the Xfinity car here in a few minutes, and then run those laps, and then figure out the difference in the Cup car. And there will be some studying overnight as well. So I don't know. It's a long weekend for sure, but I feel well prepared for it. I feel like it's been pretty calm.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to Patrick with Marin there in the middle.
Well, I'm just looking forward to Nashville next week. How do you think the racing has evolved there since we started going to Nashville in 2021?
Well, the resin that they put down seems to really widen the groove. It's not a super grippy resin when we start out on track, so it takes a little bit of time to kind of get worked in. And the track seems to be really, I wouldn't say, it's just like slick and greasy to start, and then it seems to kind of grip up a little bit as the rubber goes down. So it's kind of the opposite of Dover with the resin. Like, I feel like Dover concrete track has a lot of grip to start and then slicks off, and then Nashville seems to kind of like continue to move around and maybe gain some grip as you go. So or stay the same, but just have more lane options. So yeah, Nashville has been kind of okay for us. I feel like the first couple years we went there, we were super fast, but then last year we weren't so good. So just got to keep working on that, and hopefully, it seems like it has some mile and a half characteristics. Like the guys who are fast at mile and a half seem to be pretty strong at Nashville, even though it's a shorter track. So we'll see. I think we could run well there. Definitely. The expectation is obviously to go there and try to run top 5 and try to compete for a win. So yeah, I think it's been just got to look at what we did last year and kind of where we need to be better.
All right, we'll continue with questions. We'll come up front to Claire.
Claire Beelang, I remember when you first started your Cup ride, and I think the thing that stands out most is that I saw you walk up to the team and introduce yourself or hang out with the team the first time, and I remember thinking, man, he's really good at this. Like, he feels so comfortable and it's so natural, and he's a young guy going to lead the team. Now you sign this deal, right, several contracts later, but you have a strong crew chief and a strong, leadership group. Are you more of a team leader now than you were then? I don't know why you were so comfortable, but I noticed that. And I wonder if you feel like you're more of a team leader now, and if you feel now after this contract that you can speak out more, that people would want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I always had the sort of positive energy and a feeling around the team that was good and helped everyone stay motivated. But I feel like what I do better now is speaking my mind about the things that we can do as a team to be better, and like not sugarcoating and so just kind of being with the team and just being honest about where we can improve. I think that's where I try to be better now, and that's what just feels natural. Like, I want to, as much as I hold myself accountable for the things I need to do, I just want to be vocal about the things I feel like we can be better, and that just goes throughout our whole team. So that's what it takes to be good at this level, is kind of continue to work on the details and not let those things kind of go by the wayside.
Do you feel like you're at the level now where you can speak up on things related to NASCAR, and you're becoming one of the drivers who's been around a long time? And you used to say, well, that's not my thing, but now you're a leader. So do you see that happening?
I'm in the Drivers' Council with Joey and Christopher and Mike McDowell. So yeah, I enjoy being on that board and kind of talking about some of the things. But I when I get to the racetrack, I'm really focused on what I'm doing with my team. That's kind of what occupies my brain space is just kind of thinking about what can the 24 car do better. And so when I get in between these, in between the garage, like I don't think about that stuff too much. So you're probably not going to hear me probably talk about issues, when I'm here in the media center or things like that, because it's just not where my head is. But if I feel led to do that, I will. But most of the time, it's just about how can the car go faster and how can I do better.
All right, William. We know you have a tight schedule today, so thank you for making some time to join us here in the media center. We wish you the best of luck today and tomorrow.